Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We're going to cover my 7 favorite websites that I use for Star Citizen. So I would say hands down, and I'm pretty sure everybody across the community would agree that the DPS Calculator is the best tool that you can have. And we'll just go over a brief summary to give you kind of an idea of a construct of how the site works. So let's say you just go up here and you have 4 slots. So you can pick 4 different ships. So we can do, even though the Gladius is selected, we can just, you go here, you select slot number 1, and then you go to the drop down, and we'll just go like Aegis Titan, right? Starter ship. And then we'll go, the next ship, we'll do the next slot, number 2. We'll go down and we'll select, we just got done with Alien Week, so we'll go, screw Alien Week. We'll go Origin 400i. Boom, right? And you see the little picture for reference. Third ship, we'll go come down to the select menu. We'll go Band U Defender. Boom, right? And then we can go, actually I got one better. We'll do ships in the same family. So Aegis, okay, we'll go Gladius again. Boom, and then we'll go Espion Talon, right? And so these are kind of, in a way, they kind of all share the same space. And so what's nice about it is you can go and let's say you want to look at shields, right? So you can see this has got 2 size 1 shields with a total of 3,000 hit points. You come to this, it's got 2 size 1s for a total of 3,000 hit points. Okay, size shields, it's got 2 size shields for a total of 3,000 hit points. So it kind of gives you like apples to apples and oranges to oranges comparison. And you can get in here and you can select, you can do like upscale and say, oh, I want to put a grade A military shield in here. Boom. Military grade C, you can compare. Okay, they got the same. Okay, what if I put military B? Okay, it's got a little bit more hit points. It changes my scale. And so you can go through and you can customize loadout and DPS. You can go over here to the weapons and you can go, well, what if I do this? And it changes your overall metrics. I don't want to deep dive too much into this. You can spend a lot of time and really go down the rabbit hole, do a lot of comparison, and kind of tweak out. And then you fly it and you're like, oh, that's not what I thought. This is completely different. And so you'll also notice too that some ships will have similar stats. Like we'll go the Gladius compared to the 325A. So Origin, kind of doing some reps here, so you just kind of see how so 2 size 1 shields, 3,000 hit points, right? 3,000 hit points. But what you'll find is the Gladius is significantly more tanky. And the whole hit points is over here. It says total 9,967. But when you go to the 325, it's saying the same thing, but what you'll find is the survivability in the Gladius is like 3 times. So although it's an apples to apple comparison, when you get into game and you see how it plays out and how it's implemented, it doesn't quite quantify, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is site number 1. I'll make sure to put this in the description below. All these links are going to be in the description below. My favorite 7 sites, okay? Site number 2, man, what a contrast, how bright it is they have all the ships. And the reason I stumbled across this site is because I was looking for cargo of a certain capacity. And so what I like about this is they got these filters, and you can kind of filter stuff by cargo, or you can filter it by price, or you can filter it by role. And so if you just want bombers, okay, and you can see crew, and then you can just get an idea of just the bomber ships. Or if you just want like touring ships, you can see all the touring ship families. And so it gives you a lot of, again, apples to apples and oranges to oranges comparison. So, but for me, I was kind of trying to find ships that had that little sweet spot of like 68 to 160 cargo. Is the sweet spot. And so I was looking through here and I'm like, okay, what do I have? And so obviously we start getting into see Polaris 216, Reclaimer 180, then these Freelax Max 120, right? Mercury Star Runner. See, these is like the sweet spot, because the issue is with the current economy, you stop at all these spaceships and they don't have enough inventory to fill up the ship. And so like this is like the 96, 90. So you kind of like really start to look and kind of, and you can see the price point. So you can be like, oh, wow. So the freelancer cargo to price point or the raft cargo to price point arguably might be the best price. Anyways, it's just another tool to kind of figure out matrix, but really good website. So what are we calling this website? It's ILE Avalon Plot Logbook, I guess, but it'll be in the logbook, Citizen Logbook. Fantastic, the ship list, right? The other one, I've been using this for a hot minute, and one of the reasons why is because it tells you to where you can buy your ships in game. Okay, because I didn't think the logbook tells you where to buy your ships in game, right? It doesn't tell you where to get your ships in game. This says that you can buy the Redeemer at Lorville for 8 million UEC, right? So it tells you the in-game price, and then it also tells you the real-world price, okay? And it also kind of gives you like a little conversion matrix to kind of give you an idea of what, I'm guessing the lower the number, the better the conversion matrix. Like the Gladius is a lot of value for your money. That's why it's so low. Where you start getting into some of these other things, the value to money proposition is not as good. So, but this is a good website because it tells you where you can buy it. So it kind of makes it less convoluted. It's similar to the other website, but it's just Gamersbynight, I guess, high-end simulation gaming. Okay. But I've been using this for a hot minute. And even though it says Alpha 318 and it hasn't been updated in a while, it's pretty accurate. It's about 99% accurate. It's just missing 1 or 2 ships that they have recently put into the game. The fourth website is actually a Star Citizen website. And it is your loaner ship matrix. And I don't know if you folks know this, but often when you buy a ship, you get a loaner to go with it. And either because it's not feature complete or it's missing something, and so they give you this loaner to compensate for, let's say you buy a Caterpillar. Well, half the ship is not feature complete, so they give you, you go down here and you look for Caterpillar, they give you a free Buccaneer. And when they make that ship feature complete, then they'll take away the Buccaneer. But you know, the Caterpillar is probably not going to be, in my opinion, the Caterpillar is probably not going to be complete until, what year is it? 2023? So probably 2042, I'm guessing. Caterpillar will be complete. So, yeah, you'll have a Buccaneer for 15 years, you know, so that's not a bad deal. And so you can see this is your ship loaner. So let's say you buy a ship like a Polaris, which is supposed to start development pretty soon. Where's the Polaris? Polaris, right? And this is Perseus. You get a Hammerhead and a Vanguard. Man, that's and if you add these two prices together, it like if you were to buy these ships and this was actually a reason why I bought the Polaris, is because these two ships, if you add the dollar price together, far exceed the price of this. This was like $625. This is a $725 ship, and this is a $2. So you get $1,000 worth of vehicles for a $625 ship. Same thing with a Pioneer. You get a Nomad. Interesting. This is not a good of a deal. This is a $275 and a $90 ship, and you pay. No, I got this mixed up. This is a Polaris. So this is a $750 ship, and it gives you the same thing as the Polaris. So the Polaris is the sweet spot here. The Polaris is the sweet spot because you get more vehicles and you pay $100 less. So that's interesting. But my point is, fantastic, and it really helps you if you decide to go down the rabbit hole of pledging money, which I do not recommend. I do not recommend pledging money. But if you do go down the rabbit hole, if you were like a crackhead behind 7-Elevens, you know, this is a great website for that, you know, for the addiction. But yeah, this is website number 4. For website number 5, I do not think that it is updated anymore, but it's still super relevant. So let's say a while back, you know, they used to have all the armor in all the stores, and then at a certain point, they took, let's say, 20% out of it, 20% of the items, and put them in loot boxes. And then the rest of the 80% of the content, they fragmented it up to different space stations and different stations around, and different planets around the galaxy, around the verse. So if you're looking to piece together, like I like this MKX stuff, you know, this ORC. So let's say you're looking for MK, I'll just type in MKX, right? MKX. And okay, and well, I can see, well, shit, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 variations of MKX, which I didn't know. And then you can get the metrics. You can see the temperature variance. You can see like its value. And then you can, like, some of these, you're like, what is Twilight? And you click on Twilight, and they'll have a little, usually they'll have a little graphic here to give you a representation. And it's, you know, here, once you scroll down, you can see similar variants. So they got a V variant, MKV, and they got an MKX. So let's see what a V variant is. You know, and these two armor sets, well, okay. So you're like, oh, that's the stuff the security guards wear. Ah, right. And then the X variant, and you can see they got a bunch of these V variants. Let's go back. So this is a good website, or let's say you want one of those Pembroke undersuits. So what you have to do is you got to go, so the problem is if you go to the core website, a lot of times you'll, okay, I guess they fixed it. And then you can click on either individual legs, or you can just go undersuit. Weapons, if you're looking for a particular weapon, it might only, like, let's say you're looking for the, was it Boneyard, was it P4? You know, those are only sold at certain places. So let's see, we'll click on weapons. And then you can go P4, and you can see how you got a Boneyard variant, you got a Warhawk variant, you got a Night Stalker, you know, so you can see how many variants or color schemes. I'm still waiting for the gold one. I'm still waiting for the gold. I want my Gangster P4. I think I just invented something there. Gangster P4, right? So, yeah. It's a fantastic website. Link will be in the description below. Highly recommend. I go through here because sometimes I like to do armor builds, like themed sets. And so I'll go through and kind of figure out pre-plot theme sets before I fly around the galaxy and try to, you know, let's say you want a smoothie, right? You can go here and you can figure out where the smoothies are at, and it'll tell you. It'll be like, oh, this smoothie is sold at Microtech, New Babbage, right? Boom, boom, boom. So it even shows you a picture. It's that level of fidelity. Fantastic website. Highly recommend. So we'll be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trading website used to be really relevant. I'm not, it says during the 3.19 update and our outgoing software update. So I don't think it's as accurate as it used to be, because we're in this weird transitional phase. I mean, if I owned this site, I wouldn't update it, because they keep nerfing stuff, they keep changing prices. We're just not at a stable place when it comes to like mining and cargo, and they're constantly changing stuff. But what it does though is it does give you an idea of what is considered more valuable. It also gives you an idea where to buy and sell stuff. And you can click on these tabs and you can kind of customize trade routes. And the routes are still relevant. It's just the prices aren't going to be as relevant. It kind of shows you how the market, but I think it's pretty much up to date. But see price 5. I don't know if this, yeah, sell. Yeah, this is still accurate. This is still accurate. You know, I'll tell you what blows my mind is gold sells for $72.45, right? And then let's say, okay, and it'll tell you can buy it at these two places for 5. Yeah, I think that's accurate. And you could sell it at these places. Okay, but I'll tell you what's crazy. Let's find that scrap. Scrap is, I think is this recycled material component? Is this the stuff you get off ships? Okay, buy, sell. Okay, how is scrap that you harvest off ship worth more than gold? Okay, and so I think once, this is my prediction, my personal opinion, I think once the vulture goes into the store, you know, and you're able to buy it like at Lorville or New Babbage or wherever, right? And you can pay UEC. I think, and they've gotten their money from all of the ship sales, and it's not the new cool thing. I think that they're going to neuter this price. I think the price will go down to like 2,500. They just have this elevated price in order to artificially make those vultures more valuable. That is my opinion. That's not, you know, it's not a fact. It's just my opinion. So I think for now the getting's good, but they'll hit us with a wipe in 3.20, and all that money we made to be profitable to buy those ships won't be relevant, and the salvage, that's my prediction, right? I'm going to Nostradamus the shit out of that. It's my prediction. Let's see if I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, right? But I just think that it's odd that gold, where's gold? Gold, precious gold, is less money than scrap. And that's my observation. All right. And then the seventh and final website is another economy website. So you can go in here and you can click on like trading. And then I thought that was cool how they had all these ships in here in pictures. So with the names, so you can kind of get like an idea of what everything is. You know, when I do those tier lists, I think this is a much better website to go to get my pictures for the tier list, because I was pulling them off the website, and these are much better scaled pictures. Like somebody took some time and put these pictures together. But what I was originally using it for was the trading, right? And so similar to the other site, it had a lot of the same feature sets, because it would tell you if you picked up something here, you could sell it here. You bought it for this, you sold it for that, right? But I don't think it's updated anymore. So it still has a lot of aggregate information. It's still relevant, but the prices and the routes are kind of not up to date. Okay, so and I think it's fair, because the game is in this weird place with the economy. And there is no economy, but you know, they keep nerfing the prices, so I've already covered it. But yeah, this is site number 7. Highly recommend it. Anyways, folks, I hope you kind of like this walkthrough of my favorite, highly recommended Star Citizen support websites. And you know, don't need to like, you don't need to subscribe. There's no requirement. I don't monetize. I don't make any money off this. I just do it because I like to play video games. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching.